So, hi everyone. I will be presenting three countries in Africa, which are Kenya, South Africa, and Nigeria. So, let's start with Kenya. So, Kenya is known for its scenic landscapes and vast wildlife reserve. Its capital city is Nairobi. Its languages is Swahili and English. Its political system is parliamentary democracy. Its currency is Kenyan shilling. Kenya is a country located in East Africa, bordered by Tanzania to the south, Uganda to the west, South Sudan to the northwest, Ethiopia to the north, and Somalia to the east. So these are the provinces of Kenya. History of Kenya. The British Empire established the East Africa Protectorate in 1895 from 1920. Known as the Kenya Colony, the Independent Republic of Kenya was formed in the 1960s. Kenya is named after the Mount Kenya, the second tallest mountain in Africa. The Kikuyu people who lived around present-day Mount Kenya referred to it as Kirinyaga or Kirinyaga, present-day Mount Kenya, which was the main landmark, became synonymous with the territory the British later claimed as their colony. So, culture and tradition. The Samburu. The Samburu place great significance on physical beauty and adornment, especially among warriors who take great care with their physical appearance, using hairstyling and upper body painting to create an impression of great delicacy. It was this trait that earned them their name Samburu butterflies given to them by other tribes. The next one is the Turkana. The Turkana people who live in one of Kenya's harshest environments still afford great care and attention to decoration of the body and objects such as ostrich, egg, water holders, wrist knives, and claws. The next is for the Maasai. The use of decorative beading is extremely significant, and jewelry is used to emphasize social status and to signify stages of initiation and passage. Modern forms of arts and art came to Kenya progressively. The art of carving was practiced throughout Kenya to produce both functional and democratic items. The Akamba people are considered the most Kenyan tribes and have long been known as skilled woodworkers. Carving on the coast was centered to the island of Lamu, where the local Rajun tribe is believed to have influenced Arab craftsmen to create a unique hybrid of styles. The next one is the Maasai tribe of western Kenya. It is also well known for their carving in stone using locally acquired soapstone. They use locally acquired soapstone to a range of carvings. The most popular items are small animals, chess pieces based on traditional African designs, and more functional items such as egg cups, soup dishes, posters, and ashtrays. Kenyan painting has gradually developed, incorporating traditional designs with modern technique. One of Kenya's best-known painters who has achieved international fame and recognition is Joel Oswago. Joel is from western Kenya, and his brilliant paintwork depicts scenes of blue life, both traditional. So let's proceed to gastronomy. Its national dish is ugali. It is a light porridge but much more dense, made from white maize meal or maize flour. It is the staple diet of the indigenous people of East Africa. Ugali or sima as it's known in Kenya is generally enjoyed with a vegetable or meat stew. Its famous dish is irio, also known as Mokemo is originally a dish of the Kikuyu people of central Kenya, made with a nutritious mix of mashed potatoes, corn, peas, and greens. It's an upgrade on your standard mash. It's typically served to or barbecued and fish, although he would simply dig trouble with its national drink is dawa. The dawa cocktail is filed only by Tusker beer is the most beloved sea beverage in Kenya. The concoction of honey, lime, white sugar, ice, and vodka is simply enough, and the acidic citrus juice and citrusy honey succeed in casting it out. So let's proceed with attractions. The first, the Lake Turkana, Lake Mapulbo, Zima Spring, Diani Beach, and Mount Kenya. Kenya is the focus attraction. Mount Kenya is an extinct volcano which originally rose an estimated 3 million years ago and last erupted an estimated 2.6 million years ago. Mount Kenya National Park was formed in 1949 and in 1978 the site became a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve before finally being named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997. It is the highest mountain in Kenya and the second highest in Africa after Kilimanjaro, and the three highest peaks, Bachan, and Nana, are named after Masai chiefs. The next is man-made attractions. First one is the Mombasa Old Town, Kibera State House, Jomo Kenyatta Mausoleum, and the focus attraction is the Kenyatta International Convention Center. The Kenyatta International Convention Center is an icon and landmark for Kenya. KICC boasts of being the leading facility in the meetings industry in the East Africa and has held quite a number of regional and international conferences like the World Bank Conference in 1973, Inter-Parliamentary Unity Summit in 2008, other UN-based conferences, East Africa Growth and Opportunity Act, to name a few. The next one is the heritage attractions. The first is the Karen Dixon Museum, the Nairobi Gallery, the Fort Jesus Museum, the Jamia Mosque, and the focus attraction is the African Heritage House. African Heritage House is a national monument in Kenya, classified and gazetted under the National Museums and Heritage Act 2016. Designed by Alan Donovan, built to preserve forgotten architectural designs of the African continent. The house is facing the Nairobi National Park, and the public can visit the house for a tour, lunches, dinners, events, conferences, and overnight stays. So let's proceed to the second country, which is the South Africa. The country is bordered by Namibia, Botswana, and Zimbabwe to the north, Mozambique and Eswatini to the east, and the Atlantic and Indian Oceans to the west and east respectively. South Africa is famous for its spectacular landscapes and a diversity of African foods. Its capital city. So South Africa has three capital cities, which is the Pretoria in the administrative, Cape Town to the legislative, and Bloemfontein to judicial. Official languages are English, Afrikaans, isiZulu, Xhosa, Sesotho, Setswana, Sepedi, Xitsonga, Siswati, Tshivenda, Descendant. Its currency is South African rand. Its political system is constitutional democracy with a parliamentary system. These are the list of provinces in South. History of South Africa. The name South Africa is derived from the country's geographic location as the southern tip of Africa upon formation. The country was named the Union of South Africa in English and Univan Zuid-Afrika in Dutch, reflecting its original from the unification of four formerly separate British colonies. The first modern humans are believed to have inhabited South Africa more than 100 years ago. South Africa's prehistory has been divided into two phases based on growth patterns of technology, the Stone Age and Iron. The country became a fully sovereign nation-state within the British Empire. In 1934, following enactment of the Status of the Union Act, the monarchy came to an end. 31 May 1961, replaced by our republic as the sequence of a 1960 referendum which legitimized the country becoming the Republic of South Africa. These are the culture and traditions in South Africa. The first one is the Khoikhoi and San. Khoikhoi and San were the original inhabitants of present-day South Africa. The Khoisan were known as the Bushmen and were skilled hunters and trappers. Their tracking skills are still necessary to the fight against poachers. They are mainly nomads who live in desert regions of South Africa. The next one is the Zulus. Zulus are known for their shield-bearing warriors under the leadership of Shaka. They are also famous for their beadwork, grass huts, and basket trade. The belief of the Zulu people is based on the ancestral spirits, which appear mainly in dreams and a supreme being, who is rarely involved in the activities of the mortal. Use of magic is common among the Zulus and tragedy or illness explained in the evil spirit. The next one is the Suha. The Susa culture is popular for the context expressing that portrays a person's social status, position in the society, and whether they are married. They also have a strong oral tradition with stories of ancestral heroes. Ancestral worships is a common practice and young men have to undergo a rite of passage. Stick fighting is a common sport among the Sosa. Among the young men looking after the cattle, women mainly tend the crops and look after the home. The next one is the Debeli. Debeli are known for the skilled women who decorate their houses in beautiful geometric designs. The skills are hereditary and women are tasked with the responsibility of teaching their daughters. The shapes used in the decoration are inspired by their passion for work. Debeli women are distinguished from other South African women by the neck rings and the striking traditional bracelets. The next one is the Soto. The culture of Soto people differs from those on the Debeli, Xhosa, and Zulus in several ways, especially in how they organize their villages. The Soto homes are organized into villages rather than scattered settlements. The villages are further organized in age sets. Each of the age set is given a specific responsibility. The age set rotates from one responsibility to another. They also allowed their sons to marry from their kin, especially from the maternal side. Their traditional folk art includes pottery making, beadwork, decorations, and voices of victims. The next one is Venda. The Venda culture and tradition is built on mythical beliefs and water. They believe that lakes and rivers are sacred and that rains are controlled by Python god. Lake Kondozi is one of the sacred places among the Venda and hosts the annual rites. Traditional healers known as Sangoma are believed to have access to the spirits and ancestors. Venda's art has been influenced by the belief in the spirit world. Cattle are considered a sign of wealth while agriculture is the main economic activity. Now let's proceed to gastronomy. So these are the famous dishes in South Africa. The Boerewors, Cape Palai curry, Malva pudding, chakalaka, and pap. So its national dish is bobotie. Bobotie is the national dish of South Africa, known for its layers of meat, dried fruits, and herbs on top with milk and egg mixture. This amazing dish is thought to have originated from Dutch settlers and was actually recorded as a recipe in 1609 by the Dutch that migrated to South Africa. So these are the famous drinks in South Africa: the Springbok, Amasi, the Pinotage, and the Amarula. So this is the national drink of South Africa. Okomboti is a traditional beer made from maize or corn, sorghum, and other grains that is a fan food at home or in tropical setting. It has a distinctive taste and texture and is an important part of many culture and social events in South Africa. So let's proceed to attractions. These are the natural attractions in South Africa. The first one is the Little Faro, the Orange River, the Langritaan Lagoon, the Pearl Lake, and the focus attraction is the Blythe River Canyon. The Blythe River Canyon is a 36-kilometer long canyon located in Pulangas, South Africa. It is one of the largest canyons on Earth but much smaller than those of Asia. The Grand Canyon is the beach river. These are the man-made attractions in South Africa. The first one is the Lokrans Bangji, the Moses Mabhida Stadium, the Apartheid Museum, the Nelson Mandela Square, and the focus attraction is the Union Building. The Union Buildings form the official set of South African government and also house of the offices of the President of South Africa. The imposing buildings are located in Pretoria, atop Mentigiscope and the northern end of Pretoria. Close to historic Church Square, the large gardens of the buildings are nestled between Government Avenue, Vermeulen Street, Church Street, the R104, and Blackwood Street. Fairview Avenue is a closed road through which only official enter the buildings. Though not in the center of Pretoria, the buildings occupy the highest point of Pretoria and constitute the South African National Heritage Site. So let's proceed to heritage attractions. The first one is the Kabongwe Cultural Landscape, the Castle of Hope, the Nelson Mandela Museum, the Pilgrim's Rest, and the focus attraction is the Cradle of Humankind. The Cradle of Humankind is a paleoanthropological site and is located about 50 kilometers northwest of Johannesburg, South Africa. In the Gauteng province declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1999. The site is home to the largest concentration of human ancestral remains anywhere in the world. The site currently occupies 47,000 hectares and contains a complex system of limestone caves. The registered name of the site list of World Heritage Site is Fossil Duminate Sites of South. So let's proceed to the next country, which is the Nigeria. Nigeria is known for its vibrancy and diversity. Its capital city is Abuja. Nigeria has over 500 languages, with English being the official language and widely spoken. Nigeria is a religiously diverse country, with a majority of the population being either Muslim or Christian. Its currency is Nigerian naira. Its political system is federal republic with a presidential system of government. These are the list of states in Nigeria. History: the name Nigeria was taken from the Niger River running through the country. This name was allegedly coined in the late 19th century by British journalist Flora Shaw, who later married Baron Frederick Logard, a British colonial administrator. Before the colonial era, the people of Nigeria lived in hunting, fishing, and farming societies. In the 15th century, the Portuguese were the first white people to arrive in Nigeria, before the arrival of the British. The people of Benin began to trade with the Portuguese, selling slaves, buying spices and firearms, and learning the art of writing and the Christian religion. Culture and tradition. The first one is the Afrobeat music. Afrobeat music is a Nigerian music genre that involves the combination of West African musical styles, such as traditional Yoruba music and highlife, and African funk, jazz, and soul influences with a focus on chanted vocals, complex intersecting rhythms and percussion. The style was pioneered in the 1960s by Nigerian multi-instrumentalist and band leader Fela Kuti, who is responsible for the popularizing the style both within and outside Nigeria. The next one is the Agbada. The Agbada is a wide-sleeved robe that is worn by the West African and North African men. Agbada is known by different names in the various eight ethnic groups that adopted in the Hausa people. The attire is known as Dara, Agbada and Bob. Agbada is formal attire that is made up of three pieces of clothing: an open stitch whole gown, a long sleeved shirt and sokoto, or a pair of trousers that narrow towards the ankle. The Agbada is embroidered in traditional patterns and it's sewn from cotton. Currently, they are made using a synthetic cloth that resembles silk. The next one is the Edo dressing. The Edo people are the residents of Edo State, and they can also be found across the rivers, Ondo and Delta states in Nigeria. They are an elegant and colorful community. Edo people love beads and they believe that it symbolizes freedom and royalty. The next one is the Yoruba dressing. The Yoruba community takes pride in their traditional attire, which are sensitive. Yoruba men believe that the type of attire they put on depicts their social status and personality. The men have numerous kinds of native trousers, like soro and kembe. Some of the caps worn by the Yoruba men include gubi, orobi, alagba, onedi, labankada, and tinko. The next one is the Egbo dressing. Egbo is one of the three main tribes in Nigeria, and it includes various groups like Orlo, Anyoka, Eka, and the Based, among others. The traditional attire of the Egbo men includes an ishago top, which is patterned with some lion heads embroidered on their clothing. The last one is the gel. A gel is a traditional Nigerian cloth that is wrapped by women on their head. A gel is a large head scarf that is worn as a fashion accessory or an ornamental head covering in various occasions. Even though it can be worn daily, there are elaborate gels with the Nigerian women wear on numerous events like church activities and weddings. They are made using from fur materials, and in wedding ceremonies they can cover a woman's hair and even her ears, leaving the face and earrings exposed. So the next one is the gastronomy. So these are the famous dishes in Nigeria. The first one is the fufu. The next one is the tufu shinfaka, then the igusi soup and ewedu soup. So this is the national dish of Nigeria. Jollof rice is a rice dish from West Africa. The dish is typically made with long grain rice, tomatoes, onions, spices, vegetables, and meat in a single pot, although its ingredients and preparation methods vary across different regions. These are the famous drinks in Nigeria. The first one is the Pito, the next one is the Chapman, and the Zobo. This is the national drink in Nigeria, Nigerian Chapman cocktail. Chapman is a non-alcoholic drink usually red in color, often referred to as a non-alcoholic punch. It is traditionally made with a mix of Fanta, Sprite, cucumber, lemon grenadine, and Angostura bitters, and is traditionally served in a large mug with ice and a few slices of cucumber. It is often described as Nigeria's favorite drink, and though predominantly served without alcohol, it can also be served with a hint of vodka or rum. Let's proceed to attractions. So these are the natural attractions of Nigeria. The first one is the Ado Away Suspended Lake. The second one is the Farin Ruwa Waterfalls Nasarawa. The next one is the Bandara Mountains, then the Mambilla Plateau, and the focus attraction is the Yankari Game Reserves. Yankari Game Reserve is a large wildlife park and former national park located in the south central part of Bauchi State in northeastern Nigeria. It covers an area of about 2,244 square kilometers and is home to several natural warm water springs and as well as a wide variety of flora and fauna. The next is the man-made attractions. So these are the man-made attractions of Nigeria. The first one is the Bowers Tower. The next one is the Lagos Freedom Park. And then the third mainland bridge and the Independence House. So the focus attraction is the National Arts Theatre. National Arts Theatre is a national museum in Nigeria located in the city of Lagos. The museum has a notable collection of Nigerian art including pieces of statuary, carvings, and also archaeological and ethnographic exhibits. So let's proceed to heritage attractions. These are the heritage attractions of Nigeria. The first one is the Idonri Hills. The next is the Old Oyo. The next is the Sokor cultural landscape, the ancient walls of Kano and associated sites, and the focus attraction is the Songbus Eredo and the Iya of Benin. It is true clusters of ancient earthworks. Benin Iya or the walls of Benin were built on a ditch and dike structure. They stretch out for 15 kilometers around the city and much farther into the rural areas. Songbos Erido built in 18 to 1000 AD comprises 160 kilometers for fortification.